This is not financial advice. This is not legal advice. It's for entertainment, educational purposes only. And everything I say is my opinion. Please don't make any financial decision based on anything I say in these videos. That being said, hit the like button, subscribe button, all that YouTube algorithm stuff. So you get the videos I put them out. See what I'm thinking, see how I'm analyzing that data. Listen, I did a video yesterday where I explained how they were shorting AMC with the equity, the total return swaps, or total equity return swaps, however you want to call it. And I think I confused a lot of people, and it's my fault because I didn't really explain what total return swaps were. So what I'm trying to do in this video, I'm trying to clarify what I said yesterday and possibly simplify. And just as yesterday, if you have any questions after looking at this video, leave some comments. And if I need to explain in more detail, I'll try to explain them in more detail for you in a follow-up video, okay? Now, what total return swaps are? They're like derivatives, like calls, puts. They're derivatives, futures, whatever. They're derivatives, which means that the one party puts a group of shares together, and then what they do is they transfer it to another party. Now the new party is not the owner of this derivative or of this swap. They're just holding it, and they receive the benefits of the swap. Investor Peter says they permit the party receiving the swap to benefit from the asset without owning it. So these people are receiving these tokenized AMC shares, but they don't own it, but they receive the benefits of it. And when I say they receive the benefits of it, what they were doing, they can't do it anymore. Not with BitTex, with FTX. They can't do it with them anymore. And I think all the other bad actors are stepping away. They're not allowing themselves to be another FTX. So I think even the people who might have been doing it a little bit, they have stopped doing it. But what they were doing is this. They would take these total return swaps that were filled with these counterfeit AMC tokenized shares. They weren't real shares because FTX never owned any shares of AMC. But they gave these hedgies, these market makers, these institutions, these swaps that were filled with these ghost, phantom, Ponzi scheme, tokenized shares. And then what these bad actors would do, they would take these, I think they're illegal, these are legal swaps filled with these shares that don't exist, and they would use them to short into the market. Because all they had to do was have an expectation of where the shares were at. And they were alleging that they had the shares in these tokenized swaps. So because they had these shares in these tokenized swaps, they were able to stay in that gray area to say they had access to the actual shares, and then they kept shorting them into the market. And because they really didn't have any real shares, because these swaps really had no real value because there was nothing in them, that's why we kept getting the failure to delivers, the failure to delivers. In the month of October alone, we had like 1 million failure to delivers every single trading day on an average. Think about that. So these guys were getting the total return swaps from FTX and BitMax, and then what they were doing, they were taking these total return swaps that were filled with counterfeit tokenized AMC shares, and because these illusional shares were there, they were taking these illusional shares and shorting them into the market, when in reality, they had nothing. They had nothing. It was a Ponzi scheme. And here's the other thing that gets a little bit worse. It seems like on this other website, Estanet, and what I'll do, I'll put the link in the description for this video. These guys, it looks like they had 8 quadrillion with a Q, 8 quadrillion counterfeit AMC share tokens in their portfolio. And the thing is, because this was done on blockchain, Once you go to the website, you can see each individual transaction. You can see each individual counterfeit transaction when you go to the website. I'm going to put the link in the description for this video so you can take a look at it yourself. I mean, it's absolutely outrageous. We have to remember the float of AMC was only 516 million shares. But somehow these guys, using Uniswap, had 8 quadrillion AMC shares, AMC tokenized shares in their portfolio. How is this mathematically possible? The SEC can't explain it. They won't explain it. And the fact that they were allowed to do this, as I tell y'all every day, this is the SEC's fault. Because had the SEC been doing their job, had the SEC been fighting these bad actors an amount that was so detrimental to their bottom line that they wouldn't take the risk of committing these crimes, we wouldn't be here today. And I don't even see how they're going to be able to cover all these counterfeit AMC shares. These guys are going down. The DTCC is going to be on the hook because they're like the insurance company for these criminals. And we're going to get our tendies. AMC is going to go to the moon. But, and this is just my opinion, I'm not telling you to buy, hold, or sell, but I think the American taxpayer is going to be on the hook for all these criminals' activities. That's just my opinion. Anyway, hit the like button, subscribe on all the YouTube algorithm stuff, and listen, this is how the total return swaps and the counterfeit shares are made, and this is how they short them into the market. If you have any questions, leave some questions and some comments, and I'll try to explain it if I didn't explain this simple enough for you. I have a great day. God bless, and I appreciate y'all on this journey with me.